everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my highlighting and contouring routine with you. This has been requested a few times on my channel, so I figured that I would go ahead and film this for you guys today. As I'm sure that a lot of you know, highlighting and contouring has been trending like crazy for probably a few years now. So there are tons of tutorials on how to do this. I just showed you some tips and tricks that I use that work best for me. Keep in mind that everyone's face shape is different, so the techniques that I use might cater more towards people with a similar face shape as mine. I do have more of a round face, so these are techniques that I use, but I mean, go on YouTube and you can search for people that have a similar face shape to yours and follow them step by step if you really want to learn techniques on how to specifically contour your face. But once you learn like the general techniques, it's pretty self-explanatory. You contour the areas that you want to diminish or sink in, and you highlight the areas that you want to stand out. For those of you who aren't very familiar with highlighting and contouring, it's just a makeup technique that you can use to really enhance certain features of the face. You can really manipulate the appearance of your features. So it's really cool, and I think that's why when people figure out how to do this, they just fall in love with it, because it's really awesome when you see the before and after. Oh, and really quickly, I did just want to say thank you so much to those of you who have subscribed to my channel. It means so much to me. I think I just passed 130 subscribers the other day, so I'm super excited about it. Thank you so much. I'm working really hard to make these videos the best quality that I can, and I'm just kind of learning as I'm going, so hopefully my videos just continue to get better and better, and yeah, I hope that I can just keep putting out good material and just keep learning as I go. So thank you guys so much. You have no idea how much it means to me, because believe it or not, these videos take a lot of work, so I'm happy that some people are enjoying them. So thank you guys, and I hope that you enjoy this tutorial. Okay, so I'm starting off with just my foundation on my face. I did a light layer because I'm going to be using a lot of different products, but as you can see, it looks very flat. My skin looks flat, so that is what we're aiming to change here. So I'm taking my Chanel cream bronzer, and it just looks like this on the inside, taking a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, spraying it onto my foundation brush, and I'm just going to use this to dip it into the cream, and I used the MAC Fix Plus because it makes the cream blend a lot easier. But as you can see, I'm just pressing this into the skin, and this step is just to add some warmth into the skin. So I'm pressing this into my cheeks and just kind of working in like a circular motion, and mainly on the cheeks, and then I will also bring it any other place that I would normally apply my bronzer, so up onto the forehead as well. Okay, and then moving on to concealer. This is the Maybelline Master Conceal in the shade Light, and I'm going to use my favorite concealer brush. This is the M421 brush from Morphe, and I'm going to apply this in a triangle shape underneath my eyes. And the reason that I'm applying this in a triangle shape is because this is going to lift and brighten that area of the face, and make sure you get right up underneath that lower lash line. Don't miss that area, because if you do, it can tend to still look dark and make your eyes look sunken in. So make sure you get right up underneath that lash line. And again, applying this in a triangle shape because it's really going to lift the face. When you're working with creams to highlight and contour, I would suggest going with something that's really easy to blend and that's pigmented but still light. That's why I love these concealers, because they're really pigmented but they don't feel heavy or cakey on the skin. Next, I'm going to highlight my chin as well. If you have a larger chin and you don't want to accentuate that, you would not highlight your chin. So keep in mind you're highlighting the areas that you want to stand out. So I'm going to highlight above the Cupid's bow. That's going to make my top lip look a little bigger, down the center of my nose, and then right up to the center of my forehead as well. Again, if you have a larger forehead, you probably don't want to do this step. If you have a smaller forehead, you might want to bring your highlight up a little bit more than I did. So then I'm also going to highlight on the sides of my mouth, and I just want this area of my face, the center of my face, to be very bright. Okay, so now I'm moving on to contour, and if you have trouble finding the hollows of your cheeks, you can just make a little fishy face and take a pencil or a makeup brush and roll it down until you see where it sinks in. That's going to be the hollows of your cheeks. So then you're going to take your contour color And I am using the Mary Kay foundation in the shade Bronze 2. You typically want to stick to a cooler toned foundation or concealer when you're doing your contouring rather than a bronze, which is what I started off with. So I'm going to contour the hollows of my cheekbones on my temples, and then I'm also going to contour around my chin, and this is going to make my chin stand out some more. You can also bring that contour down your nose. This is a really great technique if you want to make your nose look smaller or if you just want to make it look more defined. And remember, you use these techniques to suit your specific face shape. So if there's areas of your face that you don't want to make stand out, then you won't highlight them. If you want to make certain areas of your face look skinnier or more defined, that's where you are going to contour. So right now, this is what you should look something like. And you're probably thinking, whoa, I look crazy. And that's because you do, but it's okay. It's all part of this. But it's fun while you're doing it. So now I'm just going to add a little bit more of that contour right underneath my bottom lip because once I blend that out, it will make my bottom lip look a little bit more poutier and more full. And then for an extra step, if you want to, you can go back in with that highlight and go right underneath where that contour is, and that's really, really going to accentuate the contour and make your face look extra defined. So now I'm just spraying a little bit of that MAC Fix Plus onto a beauty blender and blending everything out. And so I just sped up this process because it's just blending. But basically you want to blend out the highlight first so that way the beauty blender or your brush doesn't get dirty with the contour color, and then you'll blend the contour after that. But clearly, as you can see, there is a ton of steps when it comes to highlighting and contouring. That's why I would recommend keeping this for special occasions or for a time where you know you're going to be taking a lot of pictures, or if you just want to look extra glamorous, because it is time consuming and it's really not necessary for your everyday routine, but it is really great to know, like I said, for those special occasions. So I just sprayed a little bit more of that MAC Fix Plus on the Beauty Blender, and now I'm starting to blend out that contour. And as you can see, I'm pushing it upwards. You don't want to blend downwards because it'll just defeat the purpose. So always make sure if you're blending the contour, make sure to blend it up if anything. Try and keep it in that general area that you contoured, but if you have to blend up, do that. And I just love watching this process. You can see my face is starting to look more defined, especially around the chin area. There wasn't much definition before, and now it looks like my chin is a little bit more defined. How fun is that? How cool, right? I just love it. So again, pressing upwards, blending that contour out. And if you don't have a beauty blender, I would definitely recommend investing in one. It is pretty expensive for a sponge. It's like $20, which I know it sounds crazy, but let me just tell you, I've tried so many other sponges that claim to be like the Beauty Blender, and they're just never as good. So I would definitely recommend investing in one, especially if you plan on using creams to highlight and contour, or just in general. It blends out liquids and creams like a dream. It literally makes your skin look airbrushed, and it picks up all of the excess product. I find that if I try to blend out a contour with a brush, it'll look a little bit more muddy, but since the Beauty Blender is damp, it picks up that extra product, so that way it looks nice and flawless. Now for my nose, I like to be a little bit more precise, so I'm using my Sigma Precision Angled Brush. It's the P84, and I just like to be really careful when I'm blending out the contour on my nose because, like I said before, if you mess this part up, it can really change the way the shape of your nose looks, so you want to be really careful. So now I'm moving on to setting my face, and I'm using my Mary Kay Translucent Loose Powder as always, and I'm just setting this directly underneath my eyes so that way my concealer doesn't crease. And then I'm also going to set my bronzer with the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I'm just patting this right underneath because I don't want to move it around. I just want to set it right in place. Next, I'm moving on to the product that completely changed my highlight and contour game. Let me just tell you. I love this. I think it is so amazing. It's the Marc Jacobs Light Filtering Contour Palette. Whew, okay, that's a long word. Anyways, I'm using that bright, beautiful banana color to set the highlighted areas of my face, and this is really just going to brighten the skin and really make it stand out. I love this banana shade because I have the Ben Nye pressed banana powder, and that yellow color is just a little too yellow and too dark for my skin tone. So I love this Marc Jacobs one because it is just the perfect highlighting color for my skin, and that banana color has been trending like crazy, a part of this whole highlighting contour. The banana shade has been so popular, so I'm happy that I found one that finally works for my skin tone. And again, just using my Real Techniques setting brush to just set the highlighted areas of my face. And then what you can also do is take that highlight color and go right underneath that contour and just clean up that line and make it look super, super crisp. I don't know if you can tell, but it totally just sharpened up that contour line and made it look extra defined. Okay, and now I am taking the contour side of the palette and I'm just pressing this right directly into the hollows of my cheeks. And as you can see, this is a beautiful grayish toned contour, which I can't even stress to you how important that is when you're contouring, because if you use more of a warm bronzy color, it's not going to give you that sunken in effect. It's the cool grayish toned color that you really want to look for. And then I'm just taking a smaller blending brush and just blending that out so it doesn't look so harsh. And again, blending it up. So that way everything kind of transitions smoothly and fades out. And then I'm taking an extremely tiny little blending brush and defining that contour on my nose. Again, you want to be super careful when doing the contour on your nose. And then I'm just taking a really big face powder brush and just blending everything out. And then I'm moving on to blush. This is my Makeup Geek blush in the color Bliss. It's its beautiful peach color. I think it looks so nice and natural on the cheeks. And as you can see, I'll start by applying my blush back towards the temple of my cheek and then working my way down and putting just a little bit on the apples of my cheeks. And this technique looks very flattering on round face shapes. Moving on to the last few steps, I'm taking my highlighter in MAC Soft and Gentle, and I'm using a fan brush to dust this onto the high points of my cheekbones. And as you can see, it gives you a beautiful radiant glow. And then I just like to place a little bit on the Cupid's bow, and then I'm setting my face using my Mary Kay Makeup Finishing Spray. So I'm going to show again what my face looked like before I contoured and highlighted. So this was the before. And then here is the after. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you learned something from this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.